How's it going, everybody? KG here. Today I'm going to be gaming on the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II. This is a QD-OLED TV and one that is a premium flagship that might be worth your time if you are a console gamer. First and foremost, Sony did send me this Bravia 8 Mark II. They have no input on what I'm going to say, and guess I didn't even pick it as my best TV of the year, but it is a really good TV. And saying that it is a good TV shouldn't be a surprise. Now, will this be a good TV for gaming for you? Well, that depends on what kind of gamer you are. So I wanted to look at that in this video. I do think console gamers absolutely should take a look at this for sure. And one of the reasons why I feel like that is because it really does clean up the image in console gaming better than any other TV. I'm gonna play some Battlefield 6 open beta, so I'm probably gonna be really bad. Don't judge that. Don't say, it's because I'm playing on the Sony. It's because I'm bad. So let's just get that out of the way. All right. So I'm going to be pretty bad at this game. So this is going to be like a live commentary talking about the Bravia 8 Mark II and also trying to play the game at the same time. As far as setting up HDR on this game, I don't know. I've never done it before. Maybe it uses the Xbox menu. Hopefully it uses the Xbox menu. Either way, it doesn't matter. Sony's pretty immune to a bad HDR because they do have the dynamic tone mapping always on in game mode. And what this does is going to allow most games to look fine. Just really good HDR in most titles. Looking at the clouds in the sky, the sun doesn't look blown out, as you can see. My teammates are going to be like, what's this dude doing looking at the sun? Anyway, so this TV, though, I do think is, for the most part, a good TV. If you're a PC gamer, there may be other TVs you want to look at. So that's definitely something to consider when you're talking about these things. So, okay, all right. But how's it feel? I mean, what do you guys think? That responsiveness to, what just happened, I feel like I was pretty on point, And that's the thing. The feel playing first-person shooters is always good. It's always good. And I don't have any issues playing on the Sony. And that input lag feel, the difference, it's not much, man. It really isn't. So I do think that part is a bit overblown, really. But like as far as HDR impact goes for these games and for games in general, I think that this TV is one of the better ones out there in terms of just delivering it for every game that I play. And those of you that like to play in like a more exaggerated brightness, this TV can do that too. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch to that in a second here. This is definitely a cool little feel. I kind of like this game right now. I'm not normally into like Call of Duty, but this isn't Call of Duty. This is Battlefield. Oh, look at me. Okay, I definitely sprayed and prayed there. Dang, really going in on him. I gotta say, this guy's probably behind me. Why did I turn? Why did I do that? See, I told you I was bad at this game. I'm not that bad, but I feel like when I do things like that, that's pretty dang bad. And so I will not do that again. I got you. I got your back. Man, this is fun. Like, this is legit fun. And while I'm waiting in between games here, I'll talk about the screen size custom setting. So if I was playing, say, like on a 77-inch right now, sitting close to it like I am, there's a chance that I will lower this down, just so I can get my viewpoint. So this is not a useless setting at all. This is actually a very useful setting. It's quite good. If you feel like you need to play at a smaller size to get better viewpoint, then you can absolutely do that. And that's one thing I do kind of like about this. All right, so I'll go ahead and change it to brightness preferred, and I'll show you more games in a second with this in mind. But like, this is not ideal because now I'm like, it's too bright, and you can see it's like clipping the highlights and stuff. So this would be a game I wouldn't play with brightness preferred on. Okay, so yeah, here I am in Assassin's Creed Mirage. So you can see if there's really any effect here. Not too much when you go from off to gradation preferred. What about brightness preferred? So as you can see, yeah, the brightness preferred is really kind of lifting everything. If you want to overbrighten the picture in games, you can absolutely do so in this game. And for this game, honestly, I would. All right, so now we got a sports game, and sports games are historically a bit too dark on some TVs, and you're definitely going to want to use dynamic tone mapping, like in the sense of over brightening it. I'm not sure how Madden 26 is in that respect. This might actually be a really good HDR title, and I don't know. I haven't tested it enough to really say. It looks pretty good so far, but still, you may want to over brighten it if that's your preference. So we'll take a look at it here. So you can see that gradation preferred, and then yeah, brightness preferred. You can see how it just kind of raises everything up. Still, I think a lot of people are going to be preferring to play a game like this in brightness preferred. So let's go ahead and actually just play one down with gradation preferred, and then we'll play another down with brightness preferred. And then I'll kind of toggle them in the instant replay as well. Oh, look at the Dobbins out here. Go to brightness preferred now. So we're going to go run the same play. Yeah, so you can kind of see the difference there. Now let's go to instant replay and like kind of focus in on. So here's like the difference is there's gradation preferred. And then like I said, this looks fine to me, to my eyes. I'm fine with this. It may be a little bit too dark. Maybe there should be a little bit more light introduced into this, especially since it's a night game and we have lights shining on the field, like very bright, right? Like if you've ever seen a night game on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, it's very bright on the field. Then you can see when you switch it to brightness preferred, it is going to over brighten the picture, and then you're getting just an overall brighter picture in general compared to where we were. So brightness preferred here, gradation preferred here. So that's kind of that. Let's go to SDR real quick. And on the Sony, it looks really good. If you wanted to go with the brightness, the TV does get very bright. It looks pretty bright for the most part. And it's not going to be as bright as, say, you know, the G5 or the Panasonic Z95B or even the S95F, which is ridiculously bright in game mode. It's not going to be able to really punch above those for SDR gaming, but it's bright enough for SDR gaming in a bright room. So I think that won't be a problem at all. And then if you just like to use it in a comfortable way, that is also an option. Another thing that some of you guys may play around with is that you can play around with the color space that it's in if you want to. I wouldn't suggest to, but you have the option to. It is there if you want it. And forcing HDR10 is absolutely a no-go. Probably don't want to do that. That looks terrible. So yeah, don't do that. And then there's forcing HLG, which also don't do that. Looks pretty terrible. So I would say don't force anything. I mean, you can if you want to, but I wouldn't. I would just leave it on auto, of course, so that when it's an SDR, it's an SDR, and when it's an HDR, it's an HDR. So that's what I would suggest. Okay, so we are back in Assassin's Creed. Going back to the game bar, you also have the gaming multi-view on YouTube, which is nice. You have a YouTube quick search. You have your crosshair types. If you wanted to use a custom crosshair on the screen, you can absolutely do that if you need to. The custom screen size, I showed you. You can switch between your full screen and your custom, and then you can reduce it here to your liking. Black equalizer, we kind of talked about that. It's just like if you want to see in the dark in like first person shooter games, VRR is on. There is VRR flicker like all TVs, so that is something to watch for. And then you have your customizable game modes here. So like you have a profile that will fix raised blacks, and then you can have a profile that will be just your standard game mode, and then you can have a profile that kind of over brightens everything. So 3 different customizable profiles that you can do whatever you want with. The fact that you can play with the black levels and have different looks to it. You can even save like different reality creation setups. Let's just say you want your reality creation at 1 max. Like I want a max reality creation. There's the difference between off and on for max reality creation. Now, do I suggest playing with max on? Not really, because there is definitely a chance of artifacts creeping up. But so if you wanted to, you definitely have the option, and you can have fun with the game however you like. So I do think like that's an underlooked thing. And some games have softer textures where you definitely do want to try out reality creation. But in games that have like sharp textures already, reality creation isn't going to really do much for it. That's just the way reality creation works. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button on the way out. And if you want to see more videos just like this, check out this one right here. I think you'll like it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.